Tonight, we're kicking it off in Mansion Park where Carlisle quarterback Carter Wilson airs it out looking for his receiver Curtis Stroud. Altoona's Noah Stump jumps up for the interception but fails, tipping it right into the hands of Stroud, who walks it in for the touchdown. Let's watch it back in slow motion. Carter Wilson lobs it up in search of the end zone, but Stump comes into play with a perfect recipe for a perfect interception, but he ends up burning himself, serving the ball right into Curtis Stroud's hands, who puts points on the board for the Mountain Lions. Hello and welcome to After the Whistle. It is the final week of the regular season here in Center County. We've got league championships, teams fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive, and a rematch between two teams that put up a combined 113 points the last time they played each other last year. Live from University Park, I'm Max Malik.
And I'm Cassie Vaselis. We'll also get to the PIAA Golf Championships and Penn State football. After the Whistle starts now.
Not bad.
Our game of the week takes us to Alumni Stadium where the Clearfield Bison welcome the Penn Cambria Panthers, who have won the last 6 in a row. Bald Eagle student section is ready to go for this one. Second quarter, Grady Fisher takes a quarterback keeper to the end zone, but it's called back on a holding penalty. Next play, 10 yards back, Fisher has another chance, and he doesn't miss it, taking the ball all the way to the end zone, 19 yards for the touchdown.
Good, strong,
now
powerful
to
running.
the third quarter, Central Cambria's Cam Stevens takes the handoff and passes it downfield, but it is intercepted by Jackson Millward, and that's not all for him.
The first of many great plays on defense.
Back up on the goal line, Red Devils quarterback Mason Pittsinger uncorks it, but it is picked off by a one-hand by Jackson Millward, his second of the night. The Eagles shut out the Red Devils, winning 21-0. Central Cambria moves to 4-6 as their season comes to an end. Bald Eagle moves to 5-5 and will play in the first round of the District 6 2A playoffs. Our Game of the Week reporter Sophia Caruso took the drive over to Alumni Stadium. Sophia, what did you see?
Cassie, you had some unique circumstances tonight. Two teams played for more than just a win.
1, 2, 3, family!
Central Cambria and Bald Eagle essentially had their own playoff game tonight. Winner got a gift, another guaranteed week, and loser saw the season end.
All week we've been preparing for this, to given the opportunity to play, to get into the playoffs, and it's just a great feeling.
Bald Eagle needed some help when another team had to cut its own season short, opening up an unexpected playoff spot.
During the week, Bald Eagle was looking for answers. It started like most things do in small-town Pennsylvania, on Facebook. Bald Eagle got confirmation yesterday that they would have a chance at making the playoffs.
In other sports, the next team goes. So, like I said, our superintendent and our AD did an outstanding job contacting District 6 and trying to, push the vote because there was no bylaws for this. So they pushed the vote, and, I think it was like a 16-1 vote or something to allow us or Central Cambria to make the postseason.
The Bald Eagle offense went through quarterback Grady Fisher. He scored the only 2 touchdowns in the game.
I just really wanted it tonight. Last year, winning at Somerset, but not being able to go to playoffs, it messed with me. And, being senior year, I want to go to playoffs.
On defense, you saw a shutout. Jackson Millward pulled in 2 interceptions, including this one.
Me being undersized, I knew they were going to take some shots on me, and I just saw the ball up in the air and just decided to go up and get it. Once you get up by a few scores, it's a great feeling because, they're going to die down a little bit, and that's just momentum for us to keep carrying on.
The week started with the unknown and ended with the team seniors extending the season. Bald Eagle had controlled the game from beginning to end, and now the season continues after Mount Union canceled the rest of their season.
Mount Union had a record of 7-2 when they called it quits on their season. They had just one more game scheduled for tonight. The school released a statement that this decision was due to injuries and only having around 11 to 12 available players.
In Med-Penn action, State College was in Harrisburg to face Bishop McDevitt. Last year's game between these two was a shootout, with the Little Lions winning 58-55. Bishop McDevitt Sebastian Williams hands the ball off here to Nazir Jones-Davis, who runs the ball, gets tackled, drops it, and State College's Kean Furmanak gets the ball on the fumble.
Great awareness.
McDevitt Sebastian Williams then sends it over to Nazir Jones-Davis for the touchdown, making it 22-14 McDevitt.
What a play, good strong running.
Now the Little Lions, Connor Coco runs back and throws it to Hank Lustig. There it is for a touchdown, cutting the lead 22-20 Bishop McDevitt.
Shades of prime Aaron Rodgers on that deep throw.
For sure. Now next play, it'll be State College's Shane Markowski. He punts the ball, and Bishop McDevitt's Jerome LaRue takes it 98 yards to the house. Look at him breaking the defenders. He goes all the way for the touchdown, making it 28-20.
What a return. Shades of prime Devin Hester with it.
Bishop McDevitt ends the regular season with a 36-20 victory over the Little Lions. Both teams finished the regular season with an 8-2 record. State High will advance to the playoffs, but it is in the hands of Altoona whether they will have a bye or will face the Mountain Lions next week.
The Greater Johnstown Trojans haven't won a game since the third week of September and hit the road against Bellefonte looking for their second win. Before kickoff, we start by honoring the band, the dance, and the cheer team seniors. Congrats on your performance during the last home game at Rogers Stadium. In the third drive of the game, Greater Johnstown's Cordell Porter under center goes for it himself and takes it 21 yards all the way to the house. The very next play, Bellefonte receiving the kick return, it's Ashton Howell who has men in front blocking for him as he takes it all the way down into Trojan territory for a run of 42 yards. To start the second quarter, Greater Johnstown quarterback Daniel Porter scanning the field, looks to throw, and it is picked off by Bellefonte's Ashton Howell, who is knocked out of bounds at the 36. After a big offensive game, Bellefonte takes the victory with the final score being 24-31. Greater Johnstown ends the season with a 1-9 record, while Bellefonte improves to a 4-6 record.
The Bedford Bison met Phillipsburg Osceola for the first time since 2023. PO band members enjoying their senior night festivities before kickoff, and there's the Bison running out, ready to go.
What a squad.
Mounties on the first drive of the game, 2nd and 9 in Bison territory. Jaden Jones takes the sweep 36 yards to the house. PO leads 7-0.
Shane's a prime Saquon Barkley in that Navy Blue 26.
For sure. On the ensuing drive, Bison quarterback Gabriel Taylor fires over the middle, but it is intercepted by the Mountaineers' Aaron Davis.
What a play, another great play in the secondary.
After a couple of fourth down stops, PO is driving late in the first half on a 3rd and 9. It's Robert McClanahan on the reverse, breaking a tackle and scoring, making it 14-0 Mountaineers. PO would continue their dominance in the second half, taking this one 28-6. The Mounties end the regular season at 5-5 and will come up just short of postseason play, while Bedford ends their season at 2-8.
Clearfield hosted Penn Cambria for the first time since both teams were in the Laurel Highlands Conference. Panthers taking on the Bison. Here we go. And they would jump on the board first as Corbin Vinglish catches the screen pass with blockers in front and takes it all the way for 6. What a play. Who said running backs can't make plays out of the backfield? But it wouldn't take the Bison offense long to score 6 of their own as Cooper Broad gets his first senior night touchdown by getting to the edge on a jet sweep. What a play, great awareness and great speed. But Colton Vinglish wasn't done either. The big man takes the handoff up the middle for another big score, and the Panthers would take the lead once again. The Bison stampeded back for a 34-28 win over the Panthers. Clearfield moves to 7-3 while Penn Cambria drops to 8-2. Both teams will await playoff opponents.
Coming up, we have more highlights from around the area.
But first, let's take a look at some scores from around District 6.
You're watching After the Whistle.
That was Penn State drum major Ellie Sheehan, the first female drum major at Penn State.
That's right, Cassie. She's a graduate of Hollidaysburg High School. Let's take a look at how the Golden Tigers did against Du Bois. The Golden Tigers have won all 9 of their games so far. They host the Du Bois Beavers, who are ranked number 19 in the state. Hollidaysburg coming in hot tonight, fanning the Flames with a lead right off the bat as Carter Muth runs it in for the touchdown, making the score 21-0 early in the second. Pure dominance. Wasting no time, total chaos ensued as Kaysen Metzger finds the ball and takes it into the end zone for a 50-yard Golden Tigers touchdown. What a huge play in this game. Du Bois would attempt to gain some of the momentum off the kick as Logan Sallows would take it up the sideline, but Vincent Canasiglo would knock him off the field along with any chance of a comeback.
Huge push right there.
Exactly. The Golden Tigers would go on to blow out Du Bois 49-0 as they wrap up their regular season. Hollidaysburg finishes the regular season perfect, while Du Bois falls to 6-4. Both teams will await playoff opponents. Carlisle look for their first win of the season against Altoona, who they've beaten 4 out of 6 times since 2018. The crowd was draped in pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Night as the Mountain Lions also celebrated Senior Night. After a scoreless first, Altoona driving in the red zone, where Makai Jackson finds Logan Wukovic up the seam for a sliding catch, giving them the first points of the night. What a play. Later in the quarter, Altoona has it in Carlisle territory, and Jackson looks for Leland Bear, but it bounces off his hands and it is intercepted by Trayvon Harris. 4th down, 12 seconds left. Carter Wilson heaves one toward Curtis Stroud. Looks like a short interception for Noah Stump, but it slips through his hands and Stroud brings it in for a touchdown. Great awareness from Stroud there. Altoona took a 10-7 lead into half and went on to win 31-21. Carlisle finishes the season winless, while Altoona now has to decide if they'll face State College next week in the first round.
The Hilltoppers are also looking for their first win and took this challenge to Penns Valley. Things are heating up both on and off the field for senior night here at Penns Valley.
So much fire tonight.
We start in the second quarter where quarterback Carter Ironside completes this pass to his brother, Fletcher Ironside, putting the Rams up 6-0 after a blocked extra point.
Nothing like a brotherly connection.
For sure. Late in the first half, Carter Ironside takes the snap and throws a screen pass to Noah Corson, who weaves through defenders, turns on the Jets, and takes it all the way to the house, along with converting a 2-point try, making it 14-0. After another Rams score before half, we come back in the third. Carter Ironside throws up a prayer, and it's answered by his brother once again, putting Penns Valley up 28-0.
Cassie, these brothers are unstoppable.
They sure are. That was the last score of the game as Rams would win 28-0. Penns Valley ends their season 2-8, and Westmont Hilltop will stay winless going into the offseason. In a moment, we'll tell you how Penn State football is planning to use their bye week.
But for now, we'll bring you some more scores from outside District 6. Welcome back to After the Whistle. Coming up, we'll take a look at Penn State football.
But first, let's take a trip over to Penn State Golf Course, which hosted the PIAA Championships earlier this week. Reporting Zach Miller has the scoop on the individual rounds.
Madison Koshko has a lot to look forward to.
It feels amazing, and I'm so excited to go to Penn State next year. I can't wait. It's a great program. I can't wait to be a part of it.
The Penn State commit just won her second consecutive individual PIAA Golf State Championship, closing out her high school career.
I wanted to go in and have as much fun as possible because it was my senior year. That was my last day of high school golf, which is kind of crazy to think about.
It was a battle of the elements these last 2 days, as cold temperatures, high winds, and rain would create some tough conditions out there on the course.
It was definitely tough conditions. I just had to play a lot of approach shots low to stay under the wind and just play smart shots. Maybe not attack all the pins out there, just play smart.
After the first day, the 3 women at the top of the leaderboard were all 4 under par. On day 2, the first 9 holes weren't looking great for Koshko. She dropped to 3rd place, while Kate Sowers and Alyssa Zhang pulled ahead. But things would change on the back 9. Koshko put up birdies on almost every other hole. Now on the 18th hole, Koshko was sitting at 7 under par, Sowers and Zhang trailing by 1. But with a clutch 2-putt birdie, Koshko would come out victorious, boasting a final score of 8 under par to win, with Sowers in second and Zhang in third.
And there was more than just individual championships at stake. Reporter Bailey Torporser has more.
The PIAA State Golf Championships made its way to Happy Valley. Through strong winds and rain, State College High School fought against 8 teams in the 3A division to a final score of 287, putting them in a tie for second place. We talked to head coach Greg Wilson about how he prepared his team to play in tough conditions this week.
We prepared ourselves by hitting spots, not just, we're not looking to make birdies, we're looking not to make bogeys. And I think that's what we did, and it helped us through this tournament.
Junior Luke McGraw was a key element to State College's success. McGraw had the second best score on day 2, posting a 5 under 67. Luke went on to shoot a 2 over 74 during the team championships.
But I think the most important part was playing in the elements. So today when it was cold and windy and a little bit of rain here and there, it just made it seem natural,
In addition, State College's Charlie Ladrigo and Brady Wagger posted 2 scores under par during the team championships, ultimately leading the team to a score of 1 under par. It came down to the final shots, but Unionville High School's Charlie Barrickman went 4 under on the back to confirm the win.
We have our sights set on the state championship next year, and that's our goal, and we're going to work hard every day to make sure that happens.
With After the Whistle, I'm Bailey Torporser.
Thanks, Bailey. It's great to see District 6 well represented on the course.
It certainly is. Now, we have more on Penn State football from our reporter, Joey Draper. Joey?
Thanks, Max. Penn State is in the middle of a 4-game losing streak and are on their final bye before they go to Columbus next weekend, a place that Penn State hasn't won in since 2011. The once preseason favorites for a national championship currently sit 15th in the Big Ten. The focus this week has been fixing what has gone wrong. Interim head coach Terry Smith was asked if this team still has anything to play for.
They don't have a choice if they're going to play for me. Quit isn't in my vocabulary. We all have a job to do.
Redshirt freshman Ethan Grunkemeyer, slated to make his second career start next week against the Buckeyes, will need help from his teammates to get productivity out of the offense. Coach Smith has made it a point of emphasis to get Nick Singleton and Katron Allen more involved to ease that pressure off Grunkemeyer.
We just had a new install period. I thought we ran the ball really well on Saturday, so we want to fine-tune that. We want to get Nick Singleton going. We need both of those backs to really be at their very best.
Another point of emphasis during the week off is going to be the defense. Jim Knowles' side of the ball has struggled to find consistency this season due to injury, personnel changes, and illness. Some players have put in extra work outside of practice to get better.
It's pro-like, so this is really good for our guys that dream and wish to go to the NFL. This is what they're going to get, and they got to understand you have to apply yourself.
The last time Penn State won in Columbus was also under an interim head coach. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Joey. It'll definitely be interesting to see how this team can play against Ohio State after a bye week.
Definitely, Cassie, and we get to see if Penn State won the bye week, as that will translate into actual wins in actual games. Let's send it over to Elliot Insco to count down our top 3 plays. Elliot?
Thanks, Max. There were many exciting plays that took place in the last week of regular season action. Let's take a look at this week's top 3. Our number 3 play comes from the Bedford at PO game, where Mountaineers running back Jaden Jones takes the handoff and gets to the edge, taking it down the right side into the end zone untouched. Coming in at number 2, Central Cambria's quarterback sends up an absolute moon ball that gets snatched out of the air with one hand by Bald Eagle defensive back Jackson Millward. And finally, our number 1 play of the night comes as Carlisle quarterback Carter Wilson airs it out, and the ball bounces off the Altoona defender's hands and directly to Curtis Stroud for the walk-in touchdown. What a play. Those are the top 3 plays of this week, and what a way to wrap up the regular season. Back to you guys at the desk.
That's going to do it for us for this week on After the Whistle. I'm Max Malik.
And I'm Cassie Vaselis. Tune in next week for more highlights from around District 6 and, of course, Penn State football right here on After the Whistle.